kind of crazy. I think I'm at that point in the game now where, oops, be overpowered, but at the same time, it really doesn't feel like it. Like my food list still kind of fucking sucks. Like my materials for food is still severely lacking, which makes no sense. There's still plenty of things in the game that can just murder us in one shot if I so let them just even graze me. I still need lots of defense.
Oh. Yeah.
Off to a great start, aren't we?
So you're in the mood. YouTube animation anime Jump Festa is I think concluded this past weekend, and unfortunately we're not getting Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 or whatever it's called, or 8, whatever anime series we're on now. Instead, we're getting a soft trailer for the next more billion years. So these things are amazing. They're great. I don't know, man. Put it on Netflix and make it 3 times as long, and everyone will be happy. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! 6 or 7. Six.
Okay, it's just a reaction to the anime I'm already not interested in as well. Usually, all the best videos come out at exactly midnight. That's obviously not the reason why I stay awake. It's just my sleep schedule's so fucked up now and I gave up trying to fix it. Honestly, I could live off of star fragments. For some reason, I have like a million of them. Uh, where are the star fragments? There they are.
Hey! Sa! Wow! Woohoo!
$1,000 for these. Wow. Oh, nice. I don't have any swift violets. The fuck? Let me go get the last berry. This is long overdue.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. Yeah, yeah. No, no. Oh.
I could try forcing them up, I suppose. This is a nice way to use stakes. It might not be immediately obvious. Why are you completely white? But there is an anchor point. Or is it? I'll be right back. A mini monster truck. We may as well make as well a normal uh vehicle. I just realized with the way the system works, it might be better. Right, you guys are alive again. Hello, I've been death. You guys once again. Oh, it's so nice. Not have to switch shields anymore. Is this really the smallest slab of stone available? I swear a smaller one's supposed to exist. I guess I will have to try dealing with the weird snapping. Or I suppose more accurately the lack thereof. I just gotta take out the stake. And reattach this and voila. Mini monster truck. Alongside our alongside our small wheeled vehicle. Its compact size is its primary strength. Ah.
Yaya. Yaya. Yaya.
Hip. Thập.
Eh? Ôi! Yaya. Yahoo! Yaya. Ah. Oh. Yaya. Yaya.
Oh man,
Oh.
should have been a gold rupee.
Hmm.
Ah.
Hmm. Oh. Oh. Yaya. Yaya. Yaya.
Huh. Hmm. Huh. Hmm.
Oh, that's a lot of amber.
In some kind of medicationless fever dream, I had this vision come to me during my 96th hour in the Duelist Cup. I played on the wrong weekend. Watching some of these games back was basically like falling backwards through the sun, and I hope you enjoy whatever the hell these people were cooking. Really? Did you get... You know, this game's been here for 4 years, almost, and we're still misclicking. It's almost 2020, we are still misclicking in Master. Unbelievable. So they activate Spring Gun Kid, which lets you put a card from your hand back into the deck, so they clicked Ash thinking they were recycling Ash. But they just ashed themselves. Genius. Genius for playing man. And effect of the field spell. Set. That's gonna be Ash Blossom. Focus on you. We open the dotted dog. The barrel is going to bang. Traveler Troubadour. We're gonna go into Omega Shenron. And almost summon Lakai Ass. That's gonna get Fimina. Rip the Omega. Force the Fimina. Is he risking it? Oh, he's gonna Omega rip my hand. What is he gonna do? Hit the 1 and 5? Like 20% chance hit Fimina? Nah, surely not. Get absolutely destroyed. Sorry, this is a door file. Danger bomb. What ranks your opponent? What? How is a diamond player actually dangerous? Even if dangers were one player, there's no world that's ever correct to do that, right? The Dice Rally gave you targeting immunity. Oh my god. You know what Metal Silver Armor says? As long as it's a liquid monster, your opponent cannot use the effect of target the monster except the equipped one. They tried to imperm Rhino Heart and then Get obliterated, get destroyed. I'm Sarkin my golem. I'm banishing my tragedy. Are you guys ready for the greatest gameplay of all time? This is what 32 hours of YouTube talent does to a motherfucker. These are the lines that we're playing here, all to play around Ash Blossom. Okay, never mind. None of this plays around Ash Blossom. That's really funny. I saw the little cute thing. I thought it was an Ash. I was ready to go and scream. Double Fua. And to get double Fua, Rebellion, Pitch, Tragedy, and Trigger Happiness, Chain Max C. Okay, we're Pot of Greeting out the extra deck now this time. Happiness is gonna put back Caliber for... okay, Masquerade. And then put this back for Masquerade. Yep. We're going for it. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna make triple Masquerade and go for tax season. That's why you're called HMRC. Genius, honestly. That's honestly respectable. They don't want to deal with taxes. We're gonna punch one Masquerade and bounce the other. Pay 1200, pay the other Masquerade, 5 the graveyard. This one will work. Not considered fusion summon. Out, main phase to go Body Lodge for Primal, for Drill Beam, Man, and Trap Card. Trap for Divinity. I think you're not mashing the track because you figured that that's gonna cost a lot. You're gonna go Apple Fist. For the Swamp Deity, bye. Main phase. Now beyond the Shrouded Dragon. Gonna double Branded Sword. If you guys look deep enough down the branded card list, eventually you just find like the 9th best trap card, and it's like it just says some crazy shit like Albaz finally has sex with the dragon or something. We're gonna go Grangular into I need a slot ball. Titanic Lad, effect, get Ash. No special. We're gonna start our turn with an Aposas. New field spell, get Serpent. Link Shokan for Agman Day. That's one way to get close moon. Ash on Agman Day. Cycle 2 for the Anubis. Punch over the Granganol. Main 2, we're gonna go Flippity Dippity Bibbity for these two into Necroquip Princess. So we can draw cards off of what? The 17th Ash Blossom this game. Fusion summon into Albion. Oh my god, I've never seen someone hard summon Albion like this. Mirror Jade Sword is going to target Albaz, Recycle Albaz, Normal Albaz, Link Shokan into Burning. The Birud against Veranda, that's rough. Get the Birud, Grangadol effect, Banish, going to special summon out Quem. Oh my god, I love Quem. I would die for Quem. See, this is just not fair. You just have more main phases than your opponent. We're going to go and get Bill Dream for Roar, Bearbrum, bring back Albaz, effect. Wait, what the hell is this make? Oh, no, we're not. We're making this guy. On the field spell, Quem, revive Mirror Jade, Banishment, revive Albion, and then fuse the was that the Nib token into Masquerade? Is that you could do that? A light or dark monster? That okay. This is the least convoluted branded replay I'd seen, by the way. Oh my god, someone is playing Neostations in the Big 25. This is, yeah, are we playing against the bot? God, remember when people were saying the Horus engine was too strong and now it's just been power crept to oblivion? Crazy, huh? What? What? Alright, I sure love Deep Draw Horus, unironically. It is actually a cinema deck here. Celine, sure. Nightmare Griffin. Oh, that's a fun card. I love that one. Nightmare Griffin? This is the worst fucking endboard in history. This is the worst I've ever seen. Okay, we have an indestructible by battle griffin with an open EMZ pointing to it. This is not good! Gold player learns link summoning for the first time, dude. Holy. Alright, how are we outing this?
How does it take
Old Faithful!
long
Old
to
Faithful!
learn
What
how
can I
to
say?
link summon? It's
Grand
like the
Ball's a
easiest
classic.
summoning
Alright,
mechanic.
what's going
I
on
had
here?
an easier
Engage
time
Neos
learning
phase.
how to link summon than
Shadow
how to
Fist,
synchro summon when I was
Precision,
playing
Piss
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Boy adds a Liquid Soldier,
World Championship 2011.
Crosskeeper pitches himself, specials the Grand Well, wow, here he's back again. Tag into Neos, instant contact for a
Of
7,
course,
we're
the
gonna get
concept of
Sunrise.
link climbing is a
Wake
bit more
EX, Link.
complicated.
Oh, I'd love to fertilize this
A link monster
Neos, am
can
I right,
only
boys?
be
Who the
considered
fuck is that?
its
We're just
own
making
link
them up now.
rating
What
or
the fuck
1
just happened? By the way,
and
it's like, do
never
you think
anything in
drawing 4
between.
cards is
And
impressive?
then
The
like
problem is we're playing
fucking
Neos
there's the
phase. Look at the
thingy with the
garbage we drew.
zones and stuff,
EX
but like
Shuffle, Vanilla, Kua, Dead, Bladesman, already normal summon. I mean, this deck is ass. Oh, sorry, draw 5 and another Granville. Okay, be fair. Put some respect on my boy. This guy did technically just win the whole, like, event. Or rather. Are you serious? You gave me a masochist replay? It's a masochist replay. Thunderbolt, Ground Attacker, Burglamoth, or whatever. Bro, this is like a day 1 masochistic comp. Right? Like, these cards are terrible. What did your opponent just do? Ancient Chant into Arsenal Summoner Pass? Wolf and Silver? Are you both playing, like, Masochist? What's going on here? Ice Jade Tremora, special summon Guardian Slime for Egyptian God Slime for the... No, this is not a Masochist deck. Your opponent is playing a real... Raw! 10,900! Oh! Oh, True Sun! Wait, what are you doing? What is he doing? What are you doing? Keep clicking buttons. Egg. Who would win? The chicken? What came first? The chicken or the egg? I'm so funny. Could be some goddess of sweet revenge. That was the worst game of I've ever. That was the worst goal in history. Oh my god, dude. That was painful. That was painful. Friends, what are we doing here, man? Gonna make you watch Monarchs? Oh boy. Can't wait to see Draco Tail get locked out of their extra deck. Oh boy. Woo! Yay! Yay! Alright. Okay, to be fair, we're going second. Alright, we are going second. Alright, Draco Tail, libbity bop. We're gonna activate the master plan, pitch Pantheism. To banish to reveal 3 copies of Tenacity. Oh, 2 Tenacity, 1 Stormforth. I don't know if it's worth Flaming Stormforth.
I don't get those.
Honest. I feel like the new support has made it so that there's actually just better spells, weirdly enough. Erupt pitches a card, reveals 3, dumps 2, Tessera trigger, Tessera special.
What do you mean I haven't
Idos,
picked
Idos
up a
can
Fairy
connect
Radish
multiple
before?
Triggers, or can be banished to special from hand. Summon Idea special summon another Tessera. Tessera lets you extra normal summon. We're gonna go and summon. Bussy. Baby Idos in the graveyard activated. Baby Idea in the graveyard activated. That's for a recycle the Pantheism. We're gonna go and activate Draco Tail Horn.
Damn it, because I have flame on it, I can't.
Gulamel's gonna pop. Off the baby, trick the baby, let's go. Here goes Idos, Horn, and squeeze back into his hands. Sorry, the hand. Draws a card, recycles the Pantheism. We don't have a spell trap though, unless Idos does something. He does not, he just summons himself back from the graveyard. Erebus sends a Prime and a hand. Resolution, we get to spin, we're gonna spin. Idos does trigger to start the spell trap card, but we're not gonna ditch it with the Pantheism. Instead, we're gonna reduce the level of Bussy in the hand. Extra normal summon for again. Once more, we're getting nipped in Monarch, ladies and gentlemen. Activate the Prime. Prime's gonna special summon. And then we're going to... Mr. President, the third Erebus has hit the field. Flip card of the hand, attack, and we have a domain block. So, Draco Tail, hope you've got an imperm back there. Activate Ketu. Wide Gate Bug, can't fuse. Target Prime, force that out, banish, run away. Probably shouldn't have used this, honestly. Or targeted the Prime, because then they get this chain. Now you don't get the draw. Oh no, you still get a draw. Because you banished one of them. But it didn't matter, because you're domain locked. Never mind, we're time limited apparently. Okay. Sure, Battle Wasp win. normal summon Sting the Poison, target Sting, activate the effect, trigger both searches here. Do not roll. Do not roll. Alright, we got Pin, and we got right here, the Onslaught. Summon out the Arbalest, Arbalest for Buggy, Buggy revive, summon a Buggy. We're gonna go into Chaos Ruler for Bugs. That's gonna sync up into the Grand Guy. Summon another Bug, go into Cicada King, link these into Armor Horn effect, extra normal to retaliate, DC, banish the Assault Roller, banish the Synchro, revive it, link it to pick up Alina, activate pick up Alina, discard, trigger the retaliating C, search for the Supply Soldier, equip Resonance Insect, recycle these insects, put 3 back into the deck and draw 1, summon this guy, make Mantis Monk, Resonance Insect, and add Bear Grab. This dude uses the Bear Grab to hit Cavalry, activate Mantis, banish the White and Dark User, touch the dance, Resonance Insect, set Mantis Monk, go into Atlas, Mantis Effect, banish, there's some of the token, triple token, some of the Sting, get the trap card, Mantis Monk, recycle to revive this, banish a Light and Dark, summon back Armor Horn, link those up into Stack Sovereign, link 5, set 2 trap fast back! Weakest B player, by the way. Alright, we're gonna set 4 and pass here. How are we gonna get out of this one? Banish 3, summon Bear Grab, trigger the B Synchro, special B Synchro, Grand Partisan the Revolution. It's Heavy Storm. Get absolutely cooked. Get completely destroyed. Get absolutely shit on. You have been dumpstered. Alright, let's see what the deck can do. Whatever deck can do. So far it's just engine.deck. Work us, I'm thinking maybe? The track here. Carry the flame. You know who that be? Well, you know who that is. Carry the flame. Alright, how are we gonna get out of this one? We maybe kill the dragon. Golem. When it draws a card, activate Golem, Golem special summon, get Wedju. Here you can draw, maybe? Yep, okay, goes for the gold. Now, the Lulu effect to I think we may have tried to threaten battle phase there. That's incredible. They Gulamel targeted the it was a 50-50 chance. One of these cards can't be destroyed by card effects, so we just low rolled and hit Sengenjin. That's reading truly is miraculous, isn't it? It's a world event. Let's see if Pan hits the right one this time. Here we go. Right, Pan effect. Pan destroy. We Urgula popped our own Artemis. Is that good? Want to do that? I don't know. Okay, alright, yeah, we learned. Okay, cards have been read. Golem has been popped. Recycle Maxi, by the way. This is why people hate Draco. Advantage out of the ass, dude. Holy. We're gonna use field spell here. Scale, send, Duke Dragon. Congratulations, you've been promoted to Scale. Pendulum. We're gonna rip the Veiler out the hand. And then we're gonna go into the Zombie Vampire. Zombie Vampire effect, attach, both players mill 4, and we're just gonna keep gaming, it looks like. Special. Okay. Let cook. Requiem, special Crimson. Crimson for Kyrie. Graver Recycle. Like freaking Kyrie, by the way. Summoning Graver. Equip Requiem. Requiem gonna set something. We're gonna dump one of the Arthalions. Link Shokan into Sequence. And Arthalion comes back anyway. Dump these cards. Sequence effect, gonna recycle 3 for Desiree. Oil. Link those into the Agumon Desiree effect, recycle, spin a card. Back to
Agnum Day,
Agumon
please.
tag back into Desiree. And we're just gonna go battle phase and punch hit. In phase 2, Kyrie used into Lacrima. Lacrima bring back Agumon Day. Attack again. Attack with Agumon Day. Wait, is Agumon Day not once per turn? Oh my god! Dude, that is the sneakiest Beatsmith OTK I've ever seen. I've never seen anyone do that. That is, wow, that is cool. Battle phase Kyrie fused Lacrima revived Agumon Day for the twice per turn. That is, that's impressive. This is, Penpie, eat your heart out. Ooh, Trap Tier. Nice to pop this deck, man. Oh, this deck looks beautiful. Alright, we're gonna go and do some Habibikini Wababini. Oh, you're actually going to use Havness? That's insane. I usually just hold for like my turn with these cards, but it looks like you're insane because you're milling like Solid, and that gets you to search the cash dealer. The cash dealer let Mills roll back, black go. Okay, I mean you're just the best player in the world. You're gonna declare Ice Rise you with go, and then they're gonna use a ritual for Futa. Murakumo's gonna add the Great Purification. 5. Ultimate. Why would you pop tier cards? Oh, that's why. Never mind. Your opponent also is a bit of a farm animal. Alright, banish Havness, 07 fusion summoning. Mill's Grief and a Dino Meshes to recycle the. Okay, I mean. Honestly, when you watch a game of two people drawing insane, it is actually really entertaining. Both players just sacking each other, just popping one-offs like it's nothing. It's actually low-key super insane. Alright, we're gonna go and use this idiot to search 7 Tachyon. That's gonna get us into the Ryziel engine. Which admittedly, I don't actually know if we have a Ryziel engine. Alright, did we cut that off with Black Goat? Special Ice for Cross. Cross, an X, Duo. Go rollback copy Dino Meshes, but yo, fullback dude, oh my god, prime effect active, recycle the Havness that got called by, like, okay, sure, oh my god, you're just the best tier trap player, what can I say? Set 5, feel it, did we not want a super poly? I mean, sure, why not? Sometimes you just let your opponent play into themselves. Alright, what are we doing here? Recycling Mirror, add back, summon Denari. Standby phase, we're gonna go Morella. That's gonna
Don't
be
say that.
Ash Blossom. Standby main, we're just gonna go into battle phase. Battle phase start step, we're gonna go Needlebug Nest, Mill 5, get Purified. Chain Dino Meshes. I feel like it's a bit preemptive to use Dino Meshes here. Gets negated and destroyed, new chain. Jimmy's gonna get by Needlebug for Morella, and so we bring that back, Mill 5 into
What the actual
Backjack
hell is
Shuffler.
causing
Oh,
movement?
you're in Trivia cards, oh my god, dude. We're just the greatest. We're gonna go Backjack, Meta Noise, add back Tier Cash, Trivic Karma, that's gonna add Garmin Scream, Meta Noise, recycle back the Tier Cash, Backjack's gonna stack the deck. Then Resolution, we're going to mill here for a trap card, get Droll, that is the world's worst Droll, set Dino Vicious. Then we're gonna go into battle phase, flip Sulik, special summon, Morello. Oh wait, hold on, I see what you're doing here. Oh, I know what he's doing. Futu's gonna target this, chain Halfness. Are you baiting him? Aren't you under call by? Oh no, you're not, that was like the other turn. Mill's Rhino Shiren? Like, okay. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Murakumo pop the field. Chain rise to full height, target Havness, which is going to be popped by the Murakumo, which means we can't attack. The Havness leaves the field, and the Paleos are immune to monster effect. Bring back the Rhino Heart. I don't understand why the Havness is protected from destruction. Drawing insane. It is actually really entertaining. Just both players just sacking each other, just popping one-offs like it's nothing. It's actually low-key super insane. Alright, we're gonna go and use this idiot to search 7 Tachyon. That's gonna get us into the Ryziel engine. Which admittedly, I don't actually know if we have a Ryziel engine. Alright, did we
Wait,
cut
did
that
the
off
video
with
just
Black Goat?
loop back? What
Special ice for
happened?
Cross, from an X, Duo. Go rollback copy Dino Meshes, but yo, fullback dude, oh my god, prime effect active, recycle the Havness that got called by, like, okay, sure, oh my god, you're just the best tier trap player, what can I say? Set 5, feeling right, did we not want a super poly? I mean, sure, why not? Sometimes you can let your opponent play into themselves. Alright, what are we doing here? Recycling Mirror, add back, summon Denari. Standby phase, we're gonna go Morella. That's gonna be Ash Blossom. Standby main, we're just gonna go into battle phase start step. We're gonna go Needlebug Nest, Mill 5, get Purified. Chain Dino Meshes. I feel like it's a bit.
What the fuck?
This is my White Tears deck, or Karen's Tears, or White Forest Tear Element, whatever you want to call it. This one is a ton of fun. It's a deck we built earlier this year after saw a little bit of success in the Duels Cup at the end of December. So, a full year since this deck was initially made. But new White Force support means that we can revisit it. As well as a card that is not actually White Force support, but is very good in graveyard-based decks. I think is underappreciated, and that card is Diabellstar Vengeance. I think this card has a lot of utility outside of just being a Diabellstar card, though we will be using the entire Diabellstar suite in this deck. What it does, it lets you banish a spell or trap from your hand or your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand to grave. So it can just summon itself like a Fairy Tale Snow type card. And then quick effect to hack a life points to target card from controls and destroy it. So it is just focus is used in hand, means this mana can draw, you can summon it. And its bonus effect is you control the die
What
value,
happened to our
especially
Fae?
not your synchro. Actually, you can summon out your White Forest stuff or your Poplars. Obviously a very strong card. Has a lot of applications depending on how much you want to play. And we are playing a heavier Diabellstar engine in this deck, but I think a lot of tier
Holy
decks
shit, what
usually can't
happened to
incorporate Diabellstar Vengeance.
our
Especially when you're playing
everything?
traps that you'll build like Tyrion and Sulliek. It's something I want to try in the TCG because 3 Sulliek I think makes it work even more fluidly. 1 Sulliek is a bit sad. The premise of this deck is your deck has a lot of powerful spells and traps once you mill. Rather than a lot of you draw them as well, you can discard them for White Forest cards. Furthermore, your RCL can't search any light spellcaster that includes Fairy Tale Snow. Furthermore, eventually when you get the option to make your Diabell synchro, you can instead go for just Armentara. Armentara can then add to your deck your hand a Visa's card, and voila, Reef. And because this is a warrior, you can summon Rhinoheart Defense, Shadow Taurus, Rhinoheart Dump, and we're good to go. There's also favorite effects everywhere, the synergies just continue to mesh together. And also, I wish we'll search some other pieces. Your Curse Diabell is a good mill, where when you mill it, we'll add a Diabellstar card, the affiliate Diabell, which features Diabellstar Vengeance, or we can add another one, play the Diabell. When a spell trap is sent to the graveyard as a cost for an effect, you can send a leader spellcaster from your deck to the grave. So you can send and that's other factors to banish itself, plus 3 guys in the grave, 2 other guys, 3 traps, 3 Diabell, Diabell for the Witch, which gets used for conversion, go graveyard for snow, and see where we go. Now, there's a deck here that is last time you can Dark Cover and Appaloosa. Appaloosa is banned. You cannot play it. We have more extra copies now than before. For one, Doom Dragon, and Vengeance Dragon, also Snake Eyes, Poplar. Or not Snake Eyes, Poplar on the White Forest. On the White Forest, summon for, Destruction, other Diabell, Vengeance, and then Destruction as well. Death cards that's going to force cards into place. And also can work the White Forest Poplar. Curious, it's a little harder to summon right now, so we are not playing it, but it doesn't like to fit on. That's the basic idea here. You guys can get some games in. It's a ton of fun, or if you guys give it a try. This is kind of version 1 of the new cards, and there's a good chance stuff will change, but that's what it's going to be. Let's go. Doom comes up to an extender. If you can the traps, it's a lot of White Force. A merry little Christmas. Another 60 card deck. Versus a Diabell. Search and search. We'll add back to hand. Play the Diabell, I think. So we can send Snow back to grave this way. Tails. Then we synchro Varciella. Then we send Tails. This will add Belize. Unbelievable. Savage.
Dude, what is up with this fucking shrine? It's straight up cursed.
Chain Dinomicious. I feel like it's a bit preemptive to use Dinomicious here. Created and destroyed. New chain. Shimi is gonna get chained by Needlebug for Morella, and so we bring that back. Mill 5 into Blackjack Shuffler. Oh, dude, you're insane. And Trivicarb. Oh my god, dude.
CGB! Oh, buddy, I'm going to be revisiting one of your favorite cards, and also a concept that I think a lot of people get very upset about when we talk about. Let's go ahead and just quickly show you this card, and we're going to get into the crux of what the topic of the video is today. Does this card look familiar?
First of all, we make people upset with our videos?
Never.
I'm here to make people happy.
We would never do such
What could make people upset? It's me sucking at evaluating cards. What could be more wholesome? Mystic Mine is the spell card. Yeah, this is like things don't get to attack, right?
Give it a read.
Is that what it is?
Give it a
okay,
read.
I gotta remember. We're going back.
Not just
If your
attack,
opponent
that's a
controls more
worthless
monsters
effect.
than you
If
do,
that's all it does.
or
We have
your
Messenger
opponent
Thief.
cannot activate monster effects or declare an
I mean,
attack.
that card
If you
doesn't
control more
entirely
monsters than your
suck,
opponent
but
does, you cannot activate monsters effects or declare an attack. Once per turn during the end phase, if both players control the same number of monsters, destroy this card. Yeah, we lock them out of monster stuff.
Yep.
We shut them down.
And so, how do you feel about this card? You have your opinions like long ago. I think I showed you this card maybe in like the third or fourth video that we did. And so, I want to revisit this. Do you have any different opinions on this card? You're still go ahead and let us know.
Do you ever walk down the street
God.
this time of year and you just like see this person? They've got the Santa hat, the Christmas sweater, they're smiling and literally greeting absolutely everyone they meet, and you're like, that is a personification of the holiday spirit. That is it.
Fuck, not-
That is how I am when I get to lock somebody out of the car.
Okay.
Everybody's my friend. The world is a beautiful place. And, you know, you can have all the monsters you want. What's so bad about that? That's what I don't care.
This is probably as the most hated card of all time because it basically doesn't let you play the game. Now, obviously, we can go on a long-winded discussion about. There's plenty of ways in Yu-Gi-Oh! And card games to prevent your opponent from playing the game. This one definitely rustles a lot of jimmies for sure. So, this deck, if you believe it, actually did get back Y-Stars are equivalent to like what you guys have for like Pro Tools and stuff. So, I'm going to be showing you sort of the core of this deck. And you're going to be evaluating the cards as such. So, you can actually just take a guess at any of these cards never had getting limited, anything like that. Mystic Mine, as you know, was banned and still banned to this day from my recording. That's never going to change. But
There could be a Christmas spirit.
yeah, here we go. So, once I show you the core, I'm going to go ahead and show you different variants of the deck, and then you're going to evaluate which version of the deck you think is better. I took some inspiration from a video we recently did for this. You have to guess which of the variants actually ended up winning the YCS, and that's going to be your objective for the day. So are you ready?
Two variants of the deck. One time YCS, and I'm not required to guess if something got
For fun, you can like see if any of these cards, like in a vacuum, if you think like they were problematic. Maybe not necessarily to Mystic Mind strategy itself, but maybe for other reasons potentially. Maybe you read a card and you're like, oh, this could just be bad for the game as well, or you think it's totally fine. I think just for fun, we can just spit it back.
Yeah, just Simo, you're breaking the immersion of the concept of these videos. It's supposed to be you torturing me with agonizing decisions. Once it's just for fun, how can you possibly function?
Maybe I'm just in the Christmas spirit. Maybe that's what it is. So,
This must be.
like I said, I'm going to start with showing you the core of this strategy. Basically how it works. So, here's your first one.
Terraforming is the spell. It says that once you spell for your hand. Now let me get this straight. Is this a field spell, this Mystic Mind card?
This is a field spell. You can tell next to it's a spell card. It has a little, like, cross-shaped symbol that denotes that it's a field spell.
Okay. And Terraforming says add one field spell from your deck to your hand. And it's free. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Isn't that great?
Not seeing the synergy. effectively have 6 copies.
Uh-huh.
Why? There's all kinds of way more specific tutors.
This is specific tutor. It gives field spells. That's specific.
A bit too much, though. I really. You printed a card that says add any monster from your deck to your hand.
How do I answer that question? Technically, yes. Like, in a very...
With nothing else in this format. Just, it's one line of text with a period at the end that says add one monster spell from your deck to your hand.
No,
Add one monster from your deck to your hand.
but there are cards that hypothetically can search any monster in the game with, like, it's not like there are different cards. Like, I'm talking about there is a singular card I'm thinking of that hypothetically can search any monster in the game if
Are we
you
talking
jump,
about
like, up to get there.
Sangan or
That's what I
something?
mean. What's the hoop? There's no hoop on this card.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Dude, there's no ring around Saturn. There's no hoop. 0. So that's my point. They just, like, they're too smart to make
Wait,
that
where the
card.
fuck?
But they'll make this card.
Okay.
And
For what it's worth,
for what it's worth, outside.
For what it's
They
worth,
should have a cost.
terraforming is actually an extremely old card. I'm talking about 2000. If
I
that.
believe you.
Okay.
That makes sense. Because they were obviously stupid back then. The last 20-some years, that sweaty nerd still
Clearly, honestly.
2025. They're on borrowed time and
Like, terraforming is a card that aged.
You think terraforming's a problem too?
That, or you have to make your field spell cards at in a power range for the rest of time, or you have to just keep power creeping, which I guess they can. They can just keep power creeping, but like I think
can't believe it took
this
it
card's
took
existence puts a
Steam
limit on
mode this
what you
long
can
to
do with a
introduce him
field
to
spell,
terraforming.
which I don't think
Because
is
yeah, this is a
smart. I don't think
ridiculous
it's
fucking card.
I'm not surprised if this is still legal. I think it should be limited for sure. But if it's still legal and their approach to this is A, big bad field spells, and B, power creep everything, whatever. They can. I just think it's a bad idea. I think it's dumb.
Well, this is crazy. You actually hit it right on the head. Terraforming is in fact limited, and is still limited at the time of recording this video. Historically, field spells in Yu-Gi-Oh! Were fucking terrible, and basically really served no purpose in the game. There was like one that was okay, but for the most part they were all bad. It was
Necro
like,
Valley. Necro Valley is not okay.
roll your beast monsters by 200 points. Whoa, crazy, right? And it was
That's not good.
which is hilarious.
That's like a Blue Eyes with like 3,200.
Wow.
What are you talking
Crazy,
about?
right? That's insane.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
So, so terraforming in old Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously was totally fine, but as you said, like, you hit the nail right on the head, field spells eventually became really good and integral to a lot of different archetypes and strategies that
He remembers
terraforming
Runic
had to
Fountain.
eventually get
Of all the
its
cards he
generic
could remember,
strong.
I'm very
Still,
certain
like,
he'll
it's still
remember
playing
what
decks
Runic
that do play
Fountain
field
does.
spells, but again,
So
don't
he
play a
understands
So you
just
get,
how
like, your full
strong
copy
field
of
spells are.
but we also have this card.
Demise of the Land. Dude, what's with... I'm getting all these flashbacks to Magic the Gathering.
Because it lands.
It's like terraforming, I think is like, it reminded me of a land destruction spell, and now this looks like Armageddon. It looks just like Armageddon. Anyway, this is a spell card.
They're on the sky? No? Okay, this one's in the waterfall, I remember that much. Where the hell is this?
Hip.
Is there a cave somewhere I'm not seeing? Maybe that's the only reasonable
Hip.
explanation. Because there's no way there's anything in the sky, because the sky map literally shows it's just empty space there. What in the what?
Anyway, this is a spell card. This, though, is a quick play.
Correct.
Good job. Okay. When your opponent special summons a monster, activate one field spell card directly from your deck. What? So what is the flavor? These terraforming and demise of the land spell cards entering field spells. Is every field spell just rust, light, or apocalypse on the game itself? Like, what are we doing?
Again, Demise of the Land is an older card. Not as old as
Feels
Terraforming.
very weird.
Not as old as
Feels
Terraforming.
really
But it's another older card.
Hey.
But you don't have lands. So blowing up lands, it has to mean a different flavor in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I guess I just don't get it. I would have thought it would be like a board wipe. Anyway, we can talk about the card. One field spell card directly from your deck. When you say activate it, you search for it and put it on the battlefield.
Who the hell is Water?
Immediately, quote,
Is he a new
active.
character?
Correct.
That's it? Correct. Okay. And when your opponent special summons a monster, which is a very special, it's a killer. So this is just more terraforming the model. It's also okay. Continuous a field spell turn. You have to play on your turn in your back row face up.
Spell zone is a low designated zone. You can only have one field spell active at the time.
Okay, but you play it on your turn.
Correct.
So,
Yes.
quick play spell you play in your back row, and you can play it anytime.
Correct.
Okay, so normally you can't surprise people with a field spell.
Normally,
This allows you to surprise people with a field spell. So, in quite a sense, it's better than terraforming.
In a sense, yeah.
How new is this card?
This card is, I want to say 2010? 2008. Wow. 2008, even older.
Yep. Okay, so is there a world where they do something to terraforming and let you have 3 demise of the land? You could say
Not
that the opponent could play
important,
around
I
it by
suppose.
never playing a monster, but that kind of plays right into your clutches, doesn't it? So let's say demise of the land is also a problem. I don't see a world where it's not. I don't see how you allow either one of these to just run around at 3 copies in an eternal format. Demise of the land might even need to be banned because there's definitely a problem with field spells coming out like at instant speed, we'll say, from the Magic terminology.
Quick play spells
Party
need
banned,
to be
party
set if you
limited.
want to
There's no
play
way
them
this is fine,
on the
right? There's no way
opponent's
there's 3 of
turn.
these.
So turn 1
yeah,
it's
let's
not
say this
playable
also got
if you draw it
This card's
immediately.
fine, actually. This card's at 3.
Really?
Yeah. This is a bit of a tricky one. So, obviously, with Mystic Mind, Demise of the Land is very strong, because as soon as they special summon a monster, you activate Demise of the Land, you activate your Mystic Mind, your opponent now controls a monster, let's say you didn't play any, now Mystic Mind is active, they're locked out of using monster effects or attacking you, basically indefinitely. Demise of the Land really only works, I don't want to say it only works with Mystic Mind, but it's like one of the only cards that it really synergizes with, because more often than not, you would rather have the field spell added to your hand than being immediately activated to the field. When it's activated to the field, most of the times, like, you're missing out on the benefits of the field spell, because a lot of the times it's like, it's usually not like an effect that is stopping the opponent from playing the game. Most field spells most of them are like benefiting you in some way. For the most
Most field spells aren't floodgates. They are anthems, I guess, or enhancements.
So most field spells in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Will say, when you activate this, add, like, X card from your deck to your hand. So they're like tutors. But then they also might have, like, an anthem effect. They might have, like, another effect that, like, just does something else net positive for you. That's typically, like, how most field spells function in our game.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm buying this. This doesn't seem like a good idea. This might be a circle back and clip it moment. That I don't think this is going to be fine forever. There's no
possible. It's possible.
It's fine.
And because we'd have enough consistency, right? Here's your next one.
What the hell? A metaverse? How many tutors can we print? Trap card. Take 1 field spell from your deck and either activate it or add it to your alright, you said that made this a little better.
But it is trap card. That's the difference.
Yep, it's slower. In modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It's probably fine. Does that mean they banned or limited it earlier anyway? I'm guessing this is also old.
No, Metaverse is actually newer, as a matter of fact. Metaverse is 2017.
Yeah, and this is fine.
That's right.
Trap card. They just modernly suck. So yeah, I'm sure just having 7 tutors for Mystic Mind is fine because it's banned. But they'll surely never print another one.
Well, Metaverse actually is limited, like terraforming, as a matter of fact. So,
I support that. I don't think you should have like 3 of these tutors. I think that's stupid and annoying in a format of any kind, but fine. I make it make sense.
yeah, trust me, if we got explanations on why they did these things, we would actually be able to tell you. But yeah, Metaverse, again, though, because you have the option to add it to your hand, I think having flexibility is nice. It is a trap card, so it's slower, but there are certain cards that can actually sort of make it so that you have like extra copies of Metaverse, and now you have even more tutors on top of the tutors. So making it that it's one means that there's a card called Trap Trick. Trap Trick says like send a copy of a trap to your grade and then set another copy of the same card to your field. So then that way it's
you
like
gotta
you have like
banish
6 metaverses, right? So
Putting
having
it in
only
the
one
grave
means you
is
can't do that with Trap Trick.
not even a
That's
downside.
Like there's like a million things like that, but yeah, I mean, like you said, we think demise delay
If
would
that
also
was
get
how
hit,
that
but
worked.
you know, it is what it is. I never understood it. So okay, so I basically sold to you the point that there's no shortage of ways to access Mix and Mine, right? That's clearly not the issue. How do you think this deck is winning, CGB?
Ooh, we have so many choices. But I mean, first you go to Mill, but even then, Mill isn't always
I
necessary.
completely
Sometimes
forgot
you
about
can just
you.
let them draw their whole
Shit,
deck. You don't even have to mill them. If they draw one more card than you do, you're good. Or just shuffle 1 or 2 more cards back into your deck than your opponent. You're good.
Ouch! Kill all of us! Silly! Look like a harmless, strangely satisfying activity, but our little water gun holds the key to our entire...
what are you? Dude, you don't belong here. A very serious fight is happening right now. I'll take the fish. Victory. The gloom swords aren't worth it. Gloom troll's too much of a downside.
You're good. So that's my first thought, and then maybe there's a card out there that does damage equal to the number of, like, I don't know, something in your yard that just one-shots them after the game's lasted long enough. I don't know.
Okay, well,
something like that.
I think you are definitely correct in the fact Mill is definitely a way that it is very possible to win with this strategy. I'm going to quickly show you a screenshot here. This is from a feature match. I think this was not long before this card was obliterated off the face of the earth. This is a written feature match, and this is the play pattern when Mystic Mind was active. Go ahead and give it a quick read from the top here.
Zhang Drew has and passed. Oh, Drew, like drew a card. Zhang Drew and passed. Sing Drew, is that, you think how you say it?
Yeah.
Sing Drew and passed. Jing Drew and passed. Sing Drew and passed. Jing Drew a card and set a card in his back row. Sing Drew and passed. Jing Drew and passed. Sing Drew and passed.
So
Drew and set a forbidden droplet.
Yeah.
Jing set.
Okay, you want to go?
Sorry, this is fun. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Peak. This is card gaming at its best. Who doesn't want to watch this? Who wouldn't want your watch time on your YouTube listening to me sing the next, like, 10 or 15 lines that say, Drew and passed, Drew and passed, Drew and passed, Drew and passed, Drew and passed.
Hit it on the head, where if your opponent has less cards in their deck, you can X the Mystic Mind player, then then if you activate Mystic Mine and they're locked out of doing things, if they don't have enough to Mystic Mine, let's say they have 30,
Dude, why are the diamond drop
30
rates
cards in
so
their deck to your
fucking...
33, then you're just going to deck them by not doing anything. You don't even have to play a mill card. They're already at the point where they're going to have less cards than you. And it's very common that on your first turn, you're most likely going to be tutoring for something, maybe drawing a card or two. So you're going to already, by default, have less cards in your deck than your opponent, which is just the perfect opportunity for a deck like this to be able to just thrive in an environment. It's just perfect for it. So I thought you would like that. But if people were to catch on to this, we might need to speed the clock up a little bit. So give this card.
Just want you to know, in Magic, in Standard, I have a deck right now. If I'm in a matchup where they play like an island and I play a blue land, I'm already looking at their deck size on turn 2.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at their, like, they're down to 50 cards and I have 51, and I'm already not casting card draw. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait as long as it takes. And it works! Anyway, Cauldron of the Old Man.
There's no way they retrained Old Man. That's awesome, actually.
Well, good job. You're getting all the symbols today. I'm very proud of you.
When this card is activated, place 1 counter on it. Once per turn during your standby phase, place 1 counter on this card. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects to gain 500 life points for each counter on this card, or inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each counter on this card. There you go. It's just a little ticking time bomb. But who wants to use this?
Wouldn't you rather use wave motion cannon? What the fuck is this? This is garbage.
And I would say, in Magic, it's like you don't even want to play this card because you don't want to devote a whole card to making their life total go down. But in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can win by gaining life because of your stupid turn.
I was going to bring that up.
I mean, yeah, I know that's what this card is primarily used for, but this is garbage. If time wasn't a stupid fucking thing back in the day, this card would never even be considered in any format.
Of that phase. So if, let's say, someone's in main phase, as soon as they end their
like,
phase,
you're actually edging me with this.
Wins that game, and then obviously if that was game 3, if whoever won the 2 out of 3 wins the whole match. So a card like this is very helpful for if you were to go into time, because it's like, oh, I'm going into game 3, there's only a minute or 2 left on the clock, I'm just going to go ahead and activate Cauldron, gain 500 life points, or deal 300, whichever way you want to do it, and oh look, time in the round, I'm going to end my phase, my life points are higher, I win, yeah, so if this set already wasn't toxic enough, you already have that element to add to it as well. How do you feel about that?
I remember I originally tried to do this quest by placing everything down first.
What's wrong with that? Nothing.
Before going to the depths. Unfortunately, that's not how that works.
Because they didn't have to.
This game does not have object permanence.
Get good.
Got it. So, you, in your opinion, though, as a Magic player, you actually don't think you can play Cauldron. You think you should just mill them out. Like, why would you bother playing this card?
Well, I mean, I play a lot of Arena, and on Arena, in Best of 1, we don't have a time limit. So, yeah. In Best of 1, specifically on Magic Arena, there is no ticking clock of any kind. It's just the game engine, you and your opponent. So, if they have one more card in their deck, and I have to wait 50 turns, I will. It's fine. I have content to make. I need watch time.
There you go.
I'm here for it.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. So you think this card's fine? You think it did get touched already?
This card? There's gotta be other... So, I don't think so, because there have to be other cards that...
I'll let you know there are. This is the best of them. This is the best of them.
If you just need to go up a life point
Dude,
or cut the opponent down...
there was a light route right here all along. Motherfucker.
I'm sure there's options.
Just to do the math
And this
for
makes
you,
way
if you're
more sense.
doing the inflicting damage option every single turn you play this, they die instead of you, because that number's going up incrementally each time, right?
So, why so quick? It's unbelievable.
Yeah. How would you say why so quick?
Oh, right, it doesn't disappear. It doesn't disappear when you use it. Of course, yeah. 7 turns timer. Yeah, that makes enough sense.
Yeah, you're right. It is. This card's totally fine. It's funny because
yeah,
like,
it's fucking garbage.
Of, like a card that killed in 8 turns, but this one does 7, so it's 1 turn faster, which is very funny. Okay.
It really does feel like the old man thing, though, is just to like poke the person using it.
It's
like,
so. What's really funny about you saying that is that the person who is most known for playing this deck, Jeff Leonard, is actually a father who plays Yu-Gi-Oh with his son, and he like can't play it, like just because like his brain can't like comprehend it. These crazy combo decks. It's funny because now he actually can. He's played a lot more. But anyway, he wanted a way to be able to play with his son and play the game, but he couldn't handle playing these like combo decks that so this deck, and it's not just Jeff Leonard, there's actually pictures of like several other like older men, like or like fathers and stuff, playing the game, playing Mystic Mind, because it's such a simple deck in terms of like activate your Mystic Mind, kind of set your win condition, and like that's it, you know? And so I don't know, I think that's kinda cool in a way.
in Yu-Gi-Oh, this is the dummy deck, this is the low IQ.
Yeah, it was. I don't want to say that it was like the low IQ deck though, because like arguably there are like some correct things that you have to like decisions you have to make with this deck to play it properly.
Yeah, Mystic Mind allows you to focus entirely on game sense rather than combo bullshittery.
100% yes.
Yes. Okay. So we're almost done with the core.
Of course,
so,
when you're playing a deck like Mystic Mind, like, what kind of thinking are you actually doing?
I'm not going to read these because you remember these. I've shown you these a million times. Pot of Extravagance basically is just pot of greed. It just draws 2. You have to banish cards from your extra deck. Shocker, this deck doesn't care about the extra deck because you don't need it. So, this basically just reads pot of greed. And pot of duality, I think you have a card for this in Magic, I forget. But you look at the pot of greed, pick one, shuffle the other 2.
Yep. And did these get given in at some point? I don't remember which pods are fine. It's hard to remember.
I think, well, it depends which way of you play. I think duality got hit historically. It's why it's 3 now. Sure, I think it got hit. I can't remember for sure.
They'll say they played a lot of them at the time.
They did, and these were, I think it's like semi-limited now in Japan or something like that. But yeah, it's so weird. It goes all over the place. But in any case, you understand. Like, it's just
You don't even know. You're a content creator.
The problem is there's like 3 different formats for you. I'm not gonna. So here are the last 2 pieces of like
Only 3. How many? I got like 12 for Magic. You want to go? You want to go?
You remember the start for this? You did. This is one of your favorite cards.
Oh, and a summon or a spell trap card is activated. Like once you begin the summon or activation, if you destroy that card. Dark Bride? That's a trap. Your opponent
Fucker time.
card. Your opponent draws 1 card. Also negate the spell trap activation. And if you do destroy it, then there you go. Pull them out.
Exactly. And the fun is that this also conveniently happens that you can draw them a card to make it so that milling works. That's like the hilarious part about this card.
How to actually ensure that they're gonna
Fuck, it's a wind cleaver style thing.
These are both counter traps by their nature. You see the little arrow next to it says trap card, which just means that they can't be responded to by other types of effects. I believe it's split second in your game, is what it's called.
Whoa, have I seen this? Like, man, I don't remember talking about this before, but okay, that's really good.
Right, so like you can only respond to Solemn Judgment with another trap that has that that arrow next to where it says trap card there. So
It doesn't happen too often.
depending on the circumstances. So what do you think about these 2 cards? So basically, you're kind of putting it together here. You set up the Mystic Mind, you set up the Cauldron, and then, or you can kill them, and then you just have Dark Ride and Solemn Judgment to protect the get you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, there's fun concepts. Early Magic called virtual card advantage. Card advantage, of course, is probably. What do you think? Do you have so many rewards and such high profit?
Motherfucker.
advantage, of course, is pot of greed. One card becomes two. You know, you're up a card. Virtual card advantage is you play a card that makes all the other cards that an opponent has useless. So if you have a 3/3 creature in Magic, and all of their creatures are 2/2s, their 2/2s can't do anything as far as attacking you until they have so many of them, like, that they get around your 3/3. So in a way, a 3/3 like negates multiple 2/2s. They just aren't doing anything. You can play them, they can be on the board, there's nothing useful that they can do. And virtual card advantage is taken to the extreme with a card like Mystic Mind. Now, every creature your opponent has is useless. So, the battle is now between the spells and traps that they have, and your spells and traps. So, all you gotta do is trade your Solemn Judgment and your Dark Brine for the right cards, and their deck does nothing. Just gotta have the right answers to whatever they could actually do about this.
You think these counter traps are fine? No issues?
Oh, do you think they had to get, like, banned or restricted or something?
Yeah, just curious.
Knowing the childish nature of the Yu-Gi-Oh community, something probably got done. But, I mean, here's the thing. Like, are these cards problems without the mind? Or did they just... like, Solemn Judgment, tap your life for 1/1. In Magic, I think that would be 100% fine.
Interesting. Okay.
In Dark Bride is, and I know I've rated Solemn Judgment before, you actually.
Okay.
So I haven't quite changed my mind on that front, that it's one card, it's 1/1, and you pay half your life. It's like, if they have to do that, then they're just anti-interaction or something, because it's not even like your best interaction. And when your opponent activates a spell trap, this only works on spells and traps. It feels like Dark Bride is also a solid, like, sideboardy type card. Normal, like this doesn't become particularly dominant. So I'm looking at your down card, like, the amount of drawing a card is probably a big deal.
Especially in our game. Especially in our game.
Yeah, huge deal.
Wait, what happened?
So
Why
I
did
don't
he die?
actually, like, I wouldn't hit either of these, and I would expect them to be hit.
Dark Bride, you're correct. Historically, Dark Bride saw a little bit of play, but for the most part, a lot of people considered it really bad because of the fact that your opponent draws a card off of it. Again, like, just having that sort of swing and card advantage in our game is so massive that even just giving your opponent the card to negate something is not worth it. But it did see a little bit of play back in this first. Solemn Judgment, however, was banned historically. Kind of went all over the ban list. It was like limited and semi-limited and unlimited, then they put it back. Funny enough, now it's actually still limited. I believe they limited it rather recently, as a matter of fact. The reason being is because basically the play pattern with Solemn Judgment became, we're going to put this card in our side decks. Game 1, if we lose, let's say, we're going to go first. We're going to do our big wombo combo, whatever, and now we're just going to set Solemn Judgment or multiple copies of Solemn Judgment behind it, and now our opponent is usually going to use spell cards, typically, to get through our board and try to, like, establish themselves. Solemn Judgment just blanket answers any of those options, and so, essentially, it's just not really, like, fun in that respect. It's kind of just this, like, big no catch-all type of effect that's gotten used for very, like, degenerative purposes. And so it wasn't 3 for the longest time, but more so as the game sort of evolved recently, it just became more and more toxic because it's like, oh, they just have Solemn Judgment to stop, like, my thing to actually get back into the game. Well, guess I lose. You know, that's not particularly fun. So, yeah, it actually is limited, as a matter of fact, right now, which is, I wouldn't have guessed that, but it's interesting the way that it sort of evolved that way.
Yeah, I still don't get it with that. Yeah, I stand by my analysis. I don't get it.
I will say the Solemn Judgment Wars back in the day when the cards with 3 were so fun. You know, your opponent activates something, you judgment that, they judgment your judgment, you judgment their judgment. Oh god, so much fun. Absolutely love it. But anyway, so that's the core of the Mystic Mind strategy. Both of the variants of the deck that I'm going to be showing you played all of these cards. These were all available to the deck. And now we're going to go ahead and split off here. So now I'm going to show you one version of the deck. And oh boy, we're starting off with a card that I never thought I would ever show you in a video ever. Here you go.
Okay.
gonna apologize. This card has one printing ever, and it was in this gold set, and the scan of this card is perfect, so I'm just gonna apologize.
Silent Wabi?
Uh-huh.
Great. Very cool looking fish. Level 4, 1000 attack, 2000 defense fish. In fact, during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field. When summoned this way, draw one card, and if you do, your opponent gains 2000 life points. You can only use this effect of Silent Wabi once per turn. The hand side limit of this card's controller becomes 3. Oh, what a... Oh, God.
Does Magic have anything like this, for the record?
I feel like we do.
Okay.
We definitely have cards that limit your opponent's hand size,
Okay.
like creatures usually. We definitely have cards that have a drawback, and various archetypes in the history of Magic have give your opponent bad cards.
Okay.
But a card that, like, draw a card and you like this enters on their side of the field.
Oh, no, let me clarify. You give them the Wabi, they draw the card, and you give them. Sweet!
Nice. The cards we end up giving opponents usually don't draw them any cards. They just kill them. But that's fine. This card gives itself to the opponent, which is pretty unique. I'm pretty sure Magic has had something like this in the past, but nothing exactly like this.
Okay, sure, just curious.
Do they like their hand size going down? Do they enjoy that part?
So what's interesting about that part is that if you read Mystic Mind, Mystic Mind says your opponent can activate monster effects or declare an attack. Silent Wabi, hand size limit of this card's controller becomes 3. That's not an activated effect. That's continuous. So even under Mystic Mind, they still only are allowed to have 3 cards.
Beautiful. Awesome. So, yeah, here, give them this toxic card that ruins their day. Beautiful.
And what's even funnier is that if you go Mystic Mind first, then activate the Wabi, because if both of you don't control a monster, Mystic Mind's not active for anyone, then once Wabi hits the field, the opponent controls a monster, so their effects are all negated, which means they don't draw the card, and you don't gain the 2,000 life.
You don't pass go and collect $200.
You kind of want the life points, maybe, or maybe it just doesn't matter. You already have mine.
That's the main point of Wabi here, and there's a couple of cards that do what Wabi does, but Wabi's like the funniest. The purpose of Wabi is that, so against the Mystic Mind strategy, one way to kind of combat it is that, like, if you never play a monster, you're never locked under the Mystic Mind, right? So, by giving them a monster, it then makes it so that the mind is active on their field, and they don't really have any agency over it. So you're basically forcing the mind to activate for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I gotcha. It's so Yu-Gi-Oh! To have the card just in case we had to use any kind of, like, metagaming, talent, creativity, thought process to do the thing. Or it's a card that does it for you.
Yep.
Beautiful. Awesome. We love this.
They think this card's fine.
Is this card fine? So, I don't know how many cards there are that can do what the...
There's a handful. I'll say there's a handful. There's like, I want to say off the top of my head, there's like maybe 4 or 5.
So, in that world, this card isn't the problem, it's those other cards are the problem. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they, like, for some reason took it upon themselves to limit the Silent Wabi, because it encourages this toxic play pattern that they printed, by the way, and let's never forget that. But this isn't the problem. Like, so, yeah, it's a very interesting... like, life gain? Like, let's take the mine and any kind of, like, if your opponent has more monsters than your strategy out of the card. Let's take it out of that environment. What is it really? A mill card by making them draw a card? That's terrible. A weird kind of life gain card? Yep, it's something like that. A discard card? Kind of? The opponent can just play their cards. Not like... And it's not like it stacks in multiples. Like, their hand size doesn't become 2, then 1, then 0.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't even think, like, outside of the box, In like normal Yu-Gi-Oh, it's a terrible card.
It is terrible. Yep, this card starts totally fine. This is the only time when I first saw that this card even was being played, I gave up all hope in this game because I was like, that's incredible. That we're playing this awful of a card in a deck like this, but it worked. It worked. It filled the role. So yeah, this card's awful. However, it did also fill one very interesting purpose for the deck, and so go ahead and give this card a quick.
Lightning Storm is a spell. If you control no face-up cards, activate one of these effects. Destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. You can only activate once a turn. No face-up cards. So it shuts this card down if your opponent has to play this?
So Lightning Storm, and give this card a quick read as well here.
So I'm guessing this was meta. Evenly matched. Crap. At the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make your opponent banish cards from their field face down, so they control the same number of cards as you do. If you control no cards, you can activate this card from your field.
So, by giving your opponent a monster, cards that were typically sideboarded, sometimes even main decks during this period, such as Lightning Storm Evenly Matched, that require you to not have any cards on the field or no basic cards on the field. It's Lightning Storm. Lobby actually shuts down these cards because, think about it, you have the Mystic Mine up, you have the Cauldron up, you have some Solemn Judgment or Dark Bribe set, which I guess if you have those, you could just negate Evenly Match your Lightning Storm anyway. You basically have a bunch of things on the field that are trying to, like, you know, make sure that your game plan is executed, right? But now all of a sudden, you give them this card that shuts down their options to be able to, like, come back into the game. It's so funny how this, like, piece of the puzzle fits in with everything. It's hilarious. Yes.
Beautiful technology.
And speaking of more ways to solidify the strategy, here's another one.
Field Barrier is a continuous spell, and field spells on the field cannot be destroyed. Awesome. Neither player can activate a new field spell card. Why would you? You can only control one Field Barrier. Great. Great. Nah, yeah, just keep putting up the layers, man.
Yep.
Just keep locking it down.
And speaking of locking it down, here's another one.
Not exactly a minecart, but fuck, man.
players.
Yep.
Just
Putting
keep
the layer.
locking it down.
And speaking of locking it down, here's your next one.
Is that prohibition?
Uh-huh.
No drinking?
No drinking.
This is part of a card game. Okay. Spell card continuous. Activate by declaring some card name. Cards with that name and their effects cannot be used. Awesome. Cards already on the field are not affected. Great. Great. That's great. Yeah, just name whatever the meta card is that destroys a field spell. Keep it going.
Exactly. Yep. And so there were a few cards that people would play that either had the ability to destroy.
Oh my god.
But maybe just not exactly the same. And so by having a card like Prohibition, once you can either take up an educated guess based off the way that the format was of what that card was, or once you saw your opponent maybe play in a previous game, you just Prohibition, call it, and guess what? They're never going to be able to activate it, so their Mystic Mind is going to be perfectly safe.
Yeah, that's the Stream Sniper special.
Literally.
Literally. Digital client.
Yeah. And here is the final piece of the
Goddess Gold's Oracle, a continuous spell card. Remember the definition of a sentence. Once per turn during your main phase, you can look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and if you do, place them on top of their deck in any order. But you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except fairy monsters.
Hey, there's a mine cart here, and
So this is. It's also a spell. So this is a spell
Rude
that you can
Awakening.
activate once a turn to just tap their deck.
Uh-huh.
So now you know what they're gonna draw.
I think I've been going the opposite direction this whole time.
If they have a card that is something that could stop your Mystic Mind, you can put it as 3rd card from the top. But if you also have Prohibition, like you said, now you know what their out is to your Mystic Mind, if they even have it out at all, that if they do draw it, you just activate Prohibition, and now all of a sudden, they can't activate it anyway, so they basically have no way to win the game at all. Isn't it fun?
Yes. The Magic players are gonna remember this because of a deck that I'll probably show you someday.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You still haven't shown us Dredge.
I'm always ready for that. No, I've never written down a note for a future video of my life.
Never.
I probably should.
Never done that.
Actually, as a professional YouTuber, that would be a good change I could make in 2026. A good resolution. Freaking notes. I probably.
So far, what do you think? That's the first iteration of the deck. Essentially, just trying to protect the Mystic Mind at all costs, and then also just make it that the opponent's never going to have a way to out the Mystic Mind whatsoever.
Is the defining characteristic of this version the Wabi? That kind of approach?
Not necessarily. It's more so just the fact that it has layers upon layers of way to prevent the mind from being.
Oh, naming cards and further locking opponents.
Correct. Wabi is part of it, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, it's more so just how many layers the opponent has to get through. Because sometimes with this version of the deck, 1 out isn't enough. And then, if they lock all your options out, then you can't win the game, just straight up.
It does dedicate a decent amount of spots to, a fail state. I'm sure that there's... I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm guessing in Yu-Gi-Oh! History there are cards that, hold the whole deck.
Lightning Storm, and Equally Match, those are 2.
Yeah. And they kind of have a counter answer to that, but, while you can always get the mine, maybe you can't always get the right answer to the right. Declaring the wrong card, and it just doesn't come up, or it got sideboarded up, or any of those kind of mind games can get you with cards like these. And the Goddess on her own is just chilling. Not card advantage. I can see the downsides. I can also, it does seem exactly like the kind of design to make people angry.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, so it does seem very all-in, though, on that plan. So I didn't see what the other version does.
Yeah, you have to think about it contextually. So, at this time in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, this deck wasn't a meta deck. This was considered a rogue contender for sure, and would catch people off guard. The thing is, decks would not run a deck spell and trap that was not in the form of a spell or trap. A monster effect might be able to destroy a spell or trap, but if Mystic Mind is up, those are all useless, right?
Yeah.
Because all the other good decks, quote-unquote, didn't care about having to destroy spells and traps. And so that was just, again, another opportunity for a deck like this to thrive, because if Mystic Mind shutting off all monster effects, and they don't have a way to destroy your spells and traps in the form of a spell or trap. Look at Lightning Storm, evenly matched, but even so, those two cards were typically relegated to the side deck. Then that was where this deck had the opportunity.
That was the hardest Magnesis shrine I've ever done in my entire life.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Alright, so that's the first iteration. So now let's go and show you the second iteration. Maybe this guy's laughing. Maybe this card will look familiar, that's why.
Ajama Trio. Oh god, this nightmare fuel. Trap, special summon these 3 tokens, yep, to your opponent's side in defense position that cannot be tributed or tribute summoned, and each time one is destroyed, his controller takes 300 damage. Yep, I remember this. So it takes up the spot and obviously make sure that the mine works. Yep, yep.
But again, and guess what? If that wasn't enough Ojamas, there's more Ojamas!
Oh, good! The duo! You get 2 of these tokens to your opponent's side of the field in defense position. It cannot be tributed from a summon each time one is destroyed, 300 damage. It's the same card so far. During either player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon 2 Ojama monsters with different names from your deck. So I'm guessing that's a duo and a trio.
Yeah, basically that last part's irrelevant because you're not actually playing Ojama monsters. You're basically just playing 6 copies of summon guys to your opponent's field, essentially. But you might be wondering to yourself, okay, what else are we doing, right? Like, obviously Wabi could do this. Like, it's not like this is the only card that can do this, right? Well, go ahead and give this card.
Rivalry of Warlords is a trap card, another continuous trap. Each player can only control one type of monster, send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. One type of monster?
So, in our case, this
Ujama. I misunderstand.
well, if the Ojamas are already on their field, and you activate Rivalry Warlords, they're stuck in only being able to summon beast-type monsters. They don't get
because they don't get to choose. They can't choose a different type and just send them to the yard.
No, it's whatever's already on the field. So if they had like the Ojama tokens and other types of monsters, then they can choose to send the Ojama tokens. But if the Ojama tokens are the only thing out and you flip Rivalry, they're locked into beasts. They can't.
If they already have monsters on the field, then you don't even need Ojama already.
Okay, sure, that sounds fun.
That's the fun part.
I'm guessing beast isn't too common of a type.
I will let you know it's not, especially even more so, especially during this time.
Oh god. Okay. So another way to lock them out if you're not using the mine. Interesting.
Jose, what do you think about this card?
I like mine better.
Well, remember, you're still playing mine.
Is it better to run mine plus ways to protect mine, or is it better to run another makeshift mine on top of a mine?
That's a good question. And that's why I'm asking.
Yeah. I mean, this is a combo, but I don't find it nearly as oppressive. Not me. They have to find a way to get rid of these before they can summon other things, or they can get rid of the trap at 2 points of failure. I don't think it's nearly as good as mine. And it's like 2 cards that doing something like a mine. So, this is fine, I think.
Okay. And if Rivalry wasn't enough, here's another one.
Goes in matches a trap. Continuous, each player can only control one attribute of monster. Light card.
Yep. There you go.
Send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. Okay, so then this locks them on light only. It is kind of wild how that works. But yeah, this one, I guess with the templating, makes more sense to me. Send all other face-up monsters they control the graveyard. Cool. Kills their stuff. I mean, again, this is like it's a fun synergy, and obviously, I mean, fun for me. I don't understand why we have cards like the trio if we're not gonna also have cards like Goes and Match and Rivalry, because this is the kind of like playing with a different resource in your game effect, and it is kind of a combo. It's definitely a schoolyard, like, ooh, oh, I do this with that, oh, now I've got them. Like, people like that. I still don't see putting these two cards together as being nearly as impressive as the one, so I'm still fine with this.
Okay. All these cards are fine. No problems.
The trio, the duo, the rivalry, the match. I don't see why you have to like limit this stuff. Let the nonsense begin. That's what I say.
Okay. It might come as a shock to you that both Rivalry of Warlords and Ghost Match are actually limited to a single copy.
Is it really because of this?
No, it's not because of this. This obviously is something. This is something that obviously, it's that can show a strategy. Don't get me wrong, but no, similar to what I was describing to you with Solemn Judgment earlier. This is another type of effect where, in the sideboards, games 2 and 3, if you're playing a mono-type or mono-attribute type deck and your opponent is not, let's say you're going into games 2 or 3, you board in copies of Rivalry or Gozen, and you do your opening play, whatever.
Man, this
set
place
your
is still
Rivalry or
scary,
Gozen
even
in
though I
back
know
row.
the guards
Your
have
opponent
long
attempts to
disappeared
start
into the
playing
world
the
by
game.
now.
You flip up Rivalry or you flip up Gozen, all of a sudden they can't play the game. The game's basically
traitors
over,
are
so
still
you just
here.
move on to the next one or the match is concluded. And so, not a very fun play pattern. So these cards, as well as many of the other floodgates that are similar in their effects, which even then being limited, I think a YCS recently was won by one of these types of effects. They're all restricted to a singular copy. What do you think about that?
I still don't see the problem. Shouldn't there be a reward for limiting yourself to a specific type of monster? Like these kind of things happen in Magic all the time, where you get a reward for playing all the vampires, or all the smalls, or all the bigs, or all the whatever it be. And it's like the idea that they don't get to play the game just tells me that they didn't sideboard well. Like that's all. You have to be more flexible after sideboarding. You can't just, especially a combo deck. Like, this is combo 101 in Magic. Is like, after sideboard, you have to both have answers to different kinds of things that the opponent will use against you. You should probably
He knows how
have a variety of
archetypal
win
centric the
conditions,
game is
right? So that
nowadays.
you don't just rely on doing the thing every time. But apparently in Yu-Gi-Oh, this is straight up sacrilege and must be curtailed in the format. We simply can't have somebody not able to do their combo. Oh my god.
So here's the last card from this second strategy feature. Not really part of like the other Ojama stuff or the rivalry stuff that I've shown you, but give this a read.
Dark Ruler No More is a spell. Have I seen this?
I think I've shown. Yeah, you've picked up this card before. I think I've shown this.
Alright. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of turn. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. Neither player can activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. Sweet. Sweet card, you're gonna tell me it's limited or banned, aren't you?
Okay. I mean,
obviously, it's just good fun, shut you down, make the game last a little longer. Yu-Gi-Oh can't handle such things. I feel like it got limited. Okay. But I'm not positive. I know I saw it before, but I like it.
The purpose of it in the Mystic Mind strategy.
He saw it in Genesis, and Simo never told him anything about its status in
effects isn't a problem because you don't play them.
modern.
Is there
So
something special that I'm missing? Let's see. And we're talking specifically with like Diojamas and such?
No, just Mystic Mind specifically.
Missing something? It just seems like a good control card.
So, the purpose of Dark Ruler is, and one of the issues of playing a deck like Mystic Mind is going second, right? Because if your opponent's able to set up their board first, when you attempt to activate Mystic Mind, and this is similar to Magic the Gathering, the card is sort of like in the it's in like the weird quarantine zone where it's like not actually active yet because your opponent has the chance to like respond and negate it, right? So if you go activate Mystic Mind as Chainlink 1, or the first card on the stack, and your opponent has a way to interact with, negate, or destroy the Mystic Mind, it actually gives field, the monster effects are still fair game until that Mystic Mine resolves and is active, and now everything's shut down by the mine. Going second, that's where this deck can struggle a little bit because it has to sort of get through whatever the opponent put out before sticking the Mystic Mine, and if the Mystic Mine sticks, you most likely win the game. Dark Ruler is an answer to be able to actually do that, because your opponent sets up a bunch of monsters with different effects to either negate or destroy a Mystic Mine. You go, okay, Dark Ruler, everything's negated, activate the Mystic Mine, it now resolves because your opponent can't interact with it. You can just end the turn, the Mystic Mine's active, all your opponent's stuff is negated, and you can either just mill them out or burn them over the course of several turns.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
First Pharaoh Thorn.
Re-counter.
And
It's the silence before you play your mine.
Right.
there's
So
a tier
it's the way
there,
to force
so
the mine through, essentially. Because
may as well.
that's like the difficult part if you're going second. And so that's it. That's the two variants of the deck. There's probably like a couple of like different versions, but for the most part, these are the two most like streamlined of the variants. So I don't know which way to lean, but what do you think between the two?
So one version runs Goddess Skulls, Oracle Prohibition, and Field Barrier as like differentiators, and the other runs Ojama's Rivalry, Goes in Match, and Dark Ruler.
Yes.
I like the Dark Ruler card a lot.
You do, a lot of people.
Yeah, I like that card a lot.
You also said you thought Dark Ruler got limited. Dark Ruler's fine. It's been in 3 copies forever.
Good.
So, yeah,
Beautiful.
very healthy card, actually. Very healthy card.
They're too ugly. I hate these freaking Drift duos. Might have found what I'm actually unable to play. If I'm seriously choosing between, like, the Ojamas and Goddess Skulls Oracle, come on. What can I
put her in the white video.
feels too soon.
It's absolutely an endurance test of how many rounds in a row you can look at these ugly little bastards.
Is that what it is? That's the differentiator?
I think it is.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think that, man, what kind of a...
I don't remember which one this is. Oh, lol.
Sonia.
He fucking died.
Oh, Zelda.
King Rauru, before you face the Demon King tomorrow, there is something I must tell you. I came to this era after finding a man underground.
Go on.
When I witnessed what the Secret Stone did to Ganondorf, at that moment, I knew for sure what we found underground, that was him. He was still alive, still powerful. He continues to live on, all the way until my time. In tomorrow's battle, we won't be able to defeat him. No matter how strong we think we are, he'll survive. And you will.
Maybe so. But it is my duty to try. It was my hubris that set us on this path.
Yeah!
I must
Yeah, it
atone
was.
for my error in judgment. And above all else, I remain the King of Hyrule. As with any leader, it is my duty to safeguard and protect my people, even if I must risk my life.
And being a king has like an 80% death ratio in
And if it
Hyrule.
proves impossible for us to defeat Ganondorf, we rely on your knight and that legendary sword he carries.
100% if you're a
Our
fucking
last line
queen.
of defense will be Link. But remember, that was a future where you never appeared in this world. And you are here now. Zelda, I believe there is a reason you were sent to us. It has to mean something.
Nah, Raru, that's the wrong assumption. It's a closed time loop, not an alternate universe.
The reason I am here.
I mean, we discovered this out of order, no matter what. I don't see anyone complaining about that part specifically. It's primarily whenever that thing is brought up with the out of order thing, the main thing people talk about, the main gripe people have is Sonia. Regarding Sonia, like, who fucking gives a shit? Really? You care about a character that barely gets any characterization dying? I mean, I hate spoilers as much as the next guy, but
Hip.
come on, dude. It's a little dark. Darker than usual.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring the eyeball down with me.
Heartless, soulless creature could make it all the way through however
I
many
think that
rounds
more or less
fighting
showcases
the
the
geometry
sensitivity
every
people have for
single time
spoilers. More
and keeping
specifically,
their sanity. It
it
seems wild.
showcases to me the
I mean, I know
primary
which
thing
deck I
people
like,
hate
which
isn't
is
spoilers,
the Feel
but
Barrier
rather
Prohibition
finding out
version. And
characters
imagine
who
that
live
is
and
what I would
die.
go with. So both decks have the
That is a
puns,
plot
right?
beat that is very
Man, I'm
important and is
telling you, the
sacred.
Theojamas are the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, and I
For
couldn't.
good reason, I know, but
But you know what else I can't really do anymore? Win a tournament with a stall out control deck. I can't make it, dude. 8 rounds, 9 rounds, 10 rounds. That's too
again,
long. I can't
why
play.
would
I
you
can't play
torture
Magic the way
yourself
I
with
used to.
trying to
I
get
can't
the
play card
memories in
games the way I
order?
used to. I can't make it. So if somebody shows up with these,
If
they
you're
have
really
to,
that
like I said,
sensitive,
be
why
an
not just
absolutely
skip all the
heartless, soulless
cutscenes as you
creature.
get them
They
and
have
just
to be a true
do the
hero.
story?
And that's the
Just
type of
watch
monster
them
you need to
after.
win one of these events. It's
But
not
nothing's
just
stopping you from skipping
it's
cutscenes
not
immediately.
just that you're playing a toxic strategy. It's psychological damage at every turn. Okay. And I don't know if Rivalry or Gozen Match were limited at the time, but there's like an extra kick to the balls of also dropping this on them when it's also just as hated. Okay. And also this Dark Ruler No More card is insane, I think. So, I like the Fuel Barrier Prohibition deck more, but I can see more potential holes in it. And on the just flavor
no way.
side of like which
My
is
light boom's
most
still
likely
here.
to tilt people into oblivion and have them play horribly against you because they're so angry.
I know it hasn't been that long, but like,
Maybe I'm overrating that,
video
but
game.
for the fun of it, I'll say that the
Lack of
Ojama
object permanent.
squad is the group that actually made it to the top 8 finals.
It's a miracle.
Well, let's go ahead and take you to YCS Rio de Janeiro in 2022, where, this is going to blow your mind, the deck with the most representation in the top cut was Tier Limit.
And then here's when we tell him, Tier Limits played Mystic Mine.
And where Mystic Mind Bird, out of the top 32, there was one player piloting this atrocity.
Well, hold up. Did we say which version got played? Now that I know that Tier Limits was...
Oh, do you want to change your mind?
Kind of.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'll let you change.
You have to admit, it makes Prohibition a lot better when everyone's on the same deck.
Sure, I will say Terma had 12 of the top 32 decks.
I changed my mind.
I'll let you know top 8, top 8, 3 of the top 8 for Terma.
I don't want to change my mind, but no, I'll stick with it. It does make Prohibition a lot better. But,
sure.
It's fine. I'm holding on, so, because it doubles down to my theory that a true psychopath had to do this. A true psychopath had to do this. He had to do this.
Oh my god, I can't. So, YCS Rio de Janeiro 2022. When Terralimit was considered one of the best decks of the format, one hero came along and took the entire event with Mystic Mind Bird.
Let's fucking go.
In fact, the one with the Ojamas. You got it correct.
All vibes, baby. 100%
all vibes.
Turned off my rational brain. Turned off my art aesthetic. Turned off everything. Just go fall asleep.
Yeah, that's a good call. It doesn't matter if you have one card in a specific deck.
It's not about X's and O's, it's about endurance. Mental endurance.
It's so funny
yeah, how
because,
you said it.
As good of a deck as Terralman is, I mean, we consider Terralman to be the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! History, and probably will be till the end of time. Like, I don't know how they're going to top it, to be honest. One of the biggest weaknesses of the deck is that it does not play spell and trap removal in the form of a spell or trap. Funny enough, it has an in-archetype spell that does deal with spells and traps, but they don't play it because every other deck in the format doesn't really care about that. So
yeah, and it
most of their
fucking
spell and
sucks.
trap removal is relegated to the side deck, and this is the story of Mystic
That is
Mind
all
Bird,
it does,
so
for the most part. It has banishment recovery, but
the thing you did not want to encounter was sitting across from someone playing Mystic Mind Bird, because statistically, it was not going to go in your favor if you were going up against that deck, and that's the story of it. It ended up going the distance. It's not to say that Mystic Mind didn't do well in other events. It topped plenty of other events during its history throughout the game. I think the interesting development with Mystic Mind, and this actually sort of goes back to that little article that I showed you where it said two players were just passing back and forth to one another, is that the stronger-minded players in the game with Mystic Mind realized, this card's really fucking good. Why don't we just play this card anyway? And if our opponent doesn't have an out to it, we just win the game for free, right? Who cares about the burn stuff? Who cares about all this other stuff? We're going to play a, quote, good deck, like Tier Element or whatever, at any given point. And, we're going second, we're trying to do our combo, our opponent stops all of our stuff. That's cute. Anyway, activate Mystic Mind. If they don't have an out, that person just automatically wins the game. That's the effect that this card had on Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time, and it sucked. It really sucked. The amount of games that were determined by whether or not a Mystic Mind was activated is...
Okay, but with all due respect, how are you not prepared for Mystic Mind at this point?
So we always talk about how this is the book and to give some more on how funny the book
It's beautiful, to be honest.
I bet. I love it. If anything, this is, incentivizing one plate.
Yeah, you said it's banned, so, like, I guess
I guess not.
God, I love I just love all that stuff. I just like punching them from another angle, man. You know, when you think you know the game is about one thing, and it turns out to be about another. That's what hits for me. That's
That's card games, right? That's what we talk about card games in general. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout out the patrons for all their continued support. So shout out to Shadow1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Medolce, Moto, Cameron Hill Smith, Synchro Guy, Pony Stark, Daniel Howell, Little Bailey, Dan the Man Hoban, Draconic, Ryan Dancer, Class 7, JW11860, Flannel Daddy, Guinea Pigs, FT Soon, Cancel Well, Committee Soon, Commence All I've Played Soon, FBT and Nimnims 1, Box 3, Night of Passion, Nova129, Chris Adams, Pink Frappe, and Blazing Soul. Thank you all so much again for watching, and we will see you next time.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. What the hell?
Hip.
Wait, I had 200 and I haven't used them? Sure, we're meant to fly. You can kinda go up.
Zip.
With just 3 fans. But you need the wing glider. In order to maintain that upward momentum and only slightly.
Monstrous Rage! Basically, this reads, give something +3/+1 trick. This with Heartfire Hero, I don't know if they were legal at the same time, but that seems like it would be a disaster. But it's like a combat trick, bro! Like, you're gonna ban a combat trick? Actually, you know, I can't even say that, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Has actually banned combat tricks. So,
Really? A Yu-Gi-Oh! Combat trick that got banned. Okay, I do
Well, it's
want to
like-
know.
I mean, combat trick in quotes, but here you go.
Mirror Force, and it says activate only when an opponent's monster declares an attack to destroy all attack position monsters you play. That's a combat trick! That's not a combat trick! What are you talking about? This is a combat.
That's our combat trick, baby.
Nothing like Monstrous Rage.
Think about it. If they attack into your monster, you monstrous rage it, so your thing lives, and then you kill something else on your next turn, did you still keep the +1/+1?
No, what did this say? No!
Monstrous Rage! Basically, this read.
See you tomorrow.
Meta Weekly, top 16 every single week. Bro, the meta is absolutely nuts as the main deck to beat is Draco Tail, but because of that, all of the decks that were being suppressed by Droll and Lockbird as people take Droll out of their deck are now popping up again. And decks and strategies that beat Malice are also becoming more prevalent because Malice has a good matchup against Draco Tail. Even to the point where some Draco Tail players are reluctantly just putting Lancia into their deck just to specifically beat Malice. There's way too many good tech cards to put in your deck, not enough room to fit it all. So let's find out what's good. In addition to that, we have Runic is back. Well, you would think that Runic is not good while people are playing Malice because it will trigger cards off the top of the deck, but Iron Vecna does not care because we are comboing this up with Sky Striker.
This can only be Slug Winter. You're looking at it. Let's go.
Hajime, watch as long as you can. They greatly support these videos as we start off with a Rahu Draco Tail. You should be happy that Sky Striker exists. I know that's a crazy statement. A lot of people hate this deck, but there's two things that Sky Striker do that you will enjoy. They're not going to interrupt your turn one because they don't play with hand traps, so you get a fully undisrupted build up your castle, and they're not going to surrender right away. They're going to actually play out the duel. You have a very good chance to build your best board and interact with the opponent. Now, Droplet may mess you up, but that's why the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, they have their disruption within the hand, the back row, the field, and the graveyard. So cards like Droplet and Dark Hole No More are definitely not as good, where early on in Master Duel, we had Drytron, everything was just on the field pretty much besides the Herald of Arc Lights, or the Herald of Orange Light, that is. Also, you had the Anticipator deck where all their monsters on the field are getting ready to get Dark Hole No More. Now, let's Runic Tip. Get ready to search our deck for nothing is the Flame negates. How could Flame negate the tip if there's no tip on the field? I take away the tip by sending it to the graveyard, thus, no negate. Flame is not negating the effect, it's negating the card, and there's no card to negate. Come forth 0. There's a confliction with Sky Striker and Runic, and that is Runic cards want to summon into the extra monster zone, and so do Sky Strikers. So how do we get around that confliction? Searching for the Runic Fountain, which I believe is limited 1. Yes, it is. 0 on summon is activated to search the deck. Droplet is going to dodge the Veiler. I love this. I love cards that interact with the cards and not the effect, because then we have ways to dodge the cards. You try to negate my card, I send it to the grave. You try to negate my other card, I send it to the grave. Let's search for Widow Anchor with the Engage, and with 3 spells to the grave, we additionally draw our Calm of the Grave. Runic Fountain is ready. Now, if we don't Chain Link block the Runic Fountain, the Ghost Spell will negate it from drawing 3. That's going to be a big deal. We are going to be getting not Chain Link blocked, so it's a draw 2 play here, not 3. We don't have 3. We're going to use the Shark Cannon to take the Ghost Spell, banish it, or either summon it to our side of the field. It's ours. Come to me, Bell, which now turns off the use of our Widow Anchor. We have to have no monsters to even use it. So you'd be thinking, what are we doing here? Control no monsters, but we have a Bell. Bell doesn't work like Ogre. Ogre is a hand trap that works on the field to, in response, destroy something. We also have no Runic cards to trigger the Runic Fountain. You know, this deck did get us to the top 16, but boy are we in trouble. We do have the special maneuver, which could return at least 1. It can't even return anything. We have to have 2 Sky Strikers in the graveyard to even return 1 card. Yeah, that looks bad. So, big question is, could we have Chain Link blocked the Runic Fountain? What is a way to Chain Link block it? If you activate a Runic card that summons something from the extra deck that would activate on summon. If you have another field spell in the deck, but you can't because it's limited 1, you put that on the higher Chain Link to ensure that the Fountain goes through. There's Gary activate on summon to add back a card in grave. I think it adds back a non-quick play, which we didn't have. The linkage is a good way to Chain Link block it. If you activate a Runic card, Chain Linkage, you summon the 0/0 on the higher Chain Link, and then the Fountain goes through. These are things you just have to be thinking about. Not that we made a mistake.
the whole set. It's ours. Very cool. I still don't get the mask. Perhaps when there were still plenty of Zonite, there was genuine contamination to worry about. As long as there's at least one other side quest that gives us a heart container. The challenge mode genuinely does give us a way to get max everything. The Skyward Sword isn't here. Doesn't seem like this is modified.
Maging mabusis. The fountain goes through. So these are things you just have to be thinking about. Not that we made a mistake. All right, let's hop into it. And yeah, it's also worth mentioning he held on to call die and did not finger the bell. So outside of the nuance of channeling block, and what was the finger meant for? Triple tactics talent. In response to that, Maxi, I'm going to look at your hand and say goodbye to the key to a Draco Tail. Normal Ray against the Foolosser Maxi, it's great because Ray could go into 0, 0 could pop a card in the field. We also have Droplet, we have Linkage in addition to that. Uh-oh, this is toxic. This should not exist. It's not a core part of the deck. It's not like Branded where you know to save your ash for this. It's just randomly hard drawn, and it doubles the power of your turn whether you're going first or second. Completely unnecessary. Should not be in Draco Tail. This is where I strongly advocate for the Genesis point system not being an additional game mode in Master Duel, but being the game mode. The new Master Duel balance should just be what that is to help balance the game. We have Sky Tracker 0 on summon searching. We're not going to use the effect to pop during the opponent's turn. If you didn't know, you can't use both effects. You can't search and pop a card in the field. You have Key to Draco Tail, adding a card, and then additionally fusion summoning into the Arthalion. Arthalion on summon is going to be able to target up to 2 cards from either player's field or graveyard. Malulu is going to non-target negate a monster on the field plus set a card into the back row. Goodbye to the linkage. I mean, goodbye to this duel, right? What happened? Where's our Runic engine? No Runic, we got Max Seed. You know, that was unfortunate, but we were good enough to get top 16. It's just Draco Tail clapped us up. Start off with a Branded opening in the main phase. This can be not so good against a Troll Knockbird if you were to add with an Aliver or even a Veiler.
Yes.
Veiler has become a lot more prevalent thanks to Draco Tail, but something you do want to consider playing around. We have the tier limit Sharon summoning a Caritis. I don't think I've ever seen a Sharon summon a Caritis. What the?
Hey!
Bro, no! What are you doing? You cannot special summon except triple D monsters. Isn't this not that good? It does not apply a lingering effect, it's a continuous effect, which means we can tribute summon over it, right? Urgula, where in the Draco Tail meta, people have Urgula, they have Pan to tribute summon over it. This should not be floodgating. So if you're not understanding here, the untargetable Sanctifier Dragon is going to summon the
They
floodgate
recommend
onto the opponent's side
you
of the field,
do the
where
Zora
they can't special
quest
summon
first.
until they get rid of it. So, with the floodgate, we're going to floodgate right away. We're not waiting. No, wait, mate. We're going to special summon